Okay, so here we are on Sports Today with the two champions, Deep Das Gupta and Pragyan Ojha. Both, by the way, I was speaking to a lot of people today, and the kind of feedback, folks, we are getting on Sports Today is fabulous. I mean, and this is from across spectrum. Three things are being talked about. One, we are breaking news. Second, we are doing our analysis spot on in terms of we are not holding back. And number three, we are respectful. So even if we criticize, we are respectfully criticizing or being constructively critical. We are offering suggestions. So I'm glad. And the kind of content we are being able to create is serious content. This is a serious platform, folks. I mean, not a flippant platform where we will joke around with sport, because we don't take our sport not as serious. It is very serious. Just to go back to 1981 and Bill Shankly's quote, he said about football, football is a matter of life and death. No, it's far more serious than that. For us, sport is like that. So Pragyan Ojha, Deep Das Gupta, Melbourne is really serious after 36 for 9. Pragyan, you go first. Are you seeing a comeback? Are you, and if you were in Ajinkya Rahane's boots, now he's the boss with Virat having left yesterday, what are you going to tell the boys? Today they practiced at the MCG.
I'll just tell them one thing. Just forget that one session. Apart from that one session, we were brilliant. We bowled well. We batted well. The game was in our control. One horrible session. I'm not taking any criticism away from that session. That was, we could have managed it well. We talk about, test cricket is all about, when things are not going your way, you have to bog down and respect the bowler, or vice versa. The same thing. Apart from that first session, I think we were brilliant. I will tell them, please think about what we did first 2 days. Don't think about the third day first session.
Deep, is a comeback a kind of reality in the sense, is it a possibility? I mean, give me a real sense. Are we really sort of hoping like a mirage? As in, nahi yaar, nahi ho sakta hai, but still to pep up fans and stuff, we are saying what we are saying? Or do you actually believe, hand on heart, that this Indian team, no Virat, no Rohit, no Ishant, no Shami, is still capable of making a comeback?
Okay, now when we say making a comeback, so what's our benchmark? So obviously everyone's benchmark at this point, most of us are thinking about that 36, right? But that's not what Indian team is all about. Indian team is not that 36. It's the other sessions that Pragyan mentioned. It's the 2018 series that India won. That's the Indian team. The way that Indian team's been playing in the last 3, 4, 5 years, or even before that in the history of Indian cricket. So that 36 is not the Indian team that we know and that has performed over the years. So let's not say comeback. Let's say, can they play to their potential? And they will. They should. Yes, it's not going to be easy, because obviously the last innings, they're like deep scars. It will not be easy. But again, and I think, this whole issue right now that is going around, all the criticism and everything else, should galvanize the team together. They, at times like these, in crises like these, you get this sense that, we are alone in this. And when I say in alone, we are talking about the team itself, the 20 people in that dressing room, or whatever, the 2022 or whatever it is, the number, they are alone in it, and they would have that feeling. I'm not surprised if they do feel it, and it is a great chance and great opportunity to galvanize. You might see some new faces, as we've discussed before, those sparks from and new guys, debutants coming in without baggages, so to say, and also the experience that is already present in that dressing room. I think every chance that we should be able to forget what has happened in the last test match.
Pragyan, very importantly, if you were Ajinkya Rahane, firstly, rate Ajinkya Rahane as a skipper from whatever little you've seen. Do you think he has it in him? Steve Smith yesterday started the mental disintegration theory. Mark Waugh said 4-0. Australia, everywhere you look, it's 4-0. India will be thrashed, gone, done, no Virat. You are captain of the ship now, Ajinkya Rahane. You don't talk much. You stand quietly behind the stumps. Do you want to see a changed Ajinkya Rahane a la Saurav Ganguly in 2000? He was a good boy, Saurav Ganguly. All of a sudden, we saw a different Saurav Ganguly in that series against Australia, chirping, making Steve Waugh wait. Saurav still will say, no, he forgot his blazer. That's a lie. So, he deliberately did that to Steve Waugh. and I'm saying it on record. So we know Saurav Ganguly. I mean, if he today also is BCCI president, so he has to say that. If you go and tell him Lord Shirt, he will say, "Arey, I also got hundreds at Lord." So what if you got hundreds? That shirt is your legacy. So anyway, those are different issues. But do you want to see a Ajinkya Rahane in a different avatar, Pragyan? First to you, then to Deep. Both of you have been serious players. Deep has been captain of his team twice, Bengal. Pragyan, you played international cricket for a decade. 100 wickets for India doesn't come easy. So tell me from all that experience, how do you want to see Ajinkya Rahane as captain?
Murida, first of all, this is not new what we are seeing from Australians. Every time they have been like that. Whenever they lose, whenever they're cornered, then they try and blame others. Then they try and show as if they are the ones who are not being treated well. But when they are doing well, why didn't they talk about the same thing before the first test? Because they were not sure about things. Yes, India is in corner now, but this is the time. I take it other way. See, everything is against us. Virat Kohli is not there. Rohit Sharma is not available because he's quarantined. Ishant is not there. Injury. Shami is injured. So I think the pressure of defending the trophy has somehow, it's slowly going away from you. Now it's, you can just play cricket freely. And Ajinkya Rahane, the biggest compliment what I saw recently was Ishant Sharma saying that Ajinkya Rahane is a bowler's captain.
Captain,
And
yeah.
when a bowler says that, that is the best compliment a captain can expect. Because when you talk about the batsman when he goes in, it is his game. He decides what he has to do. But a bowler solely depends on the captain. The confidence a captain has to give you, the field placement, and when he is making you bowl. So these are the decisions that are taken by the captain. So if a bowler of Ishant Sharma's stature is giving a statement that Ajinkya Rahane is a bowler's captain, I think it cannot be bigger than this. And Ajinkya Rahane, if you look at his hard work, his ethics, everything is spot on. Only thing is that he never speaks. That is his strength. He is someone who believes that his action speaks louder than his whatever words or whatever it is. So I think he will be there. He will be comfortable. Only thing is that how he starts. I'm very confident Ajinkya as a leader is top notch.
Deep.
See, whatever I've seen, as Pragyan mentioned, I think he's really good captain. Again, he's not somebody who talks a lot. Listen, let's remember, even MSD never used to talk a lot, so that does not make him any less a captain if you're not talking. But one thing I would really like to see, listen, even if let's say it 4-0 happens, is it going to be the first time that India loses 4-0 in Australia? It's not going to be the first time, and it might not be the last time. Has anyone been dropped before from the side? No. I think everyone in that team playing right now has been dropped from some point in their careers, have been dropped. So what are they so afraid of? See, the biggest pressure that people have is individually losing their place, or as a team losing a series or losing a game. So if you can take those thoughts away, and this is, I'm saying from experience, I actually told, when I was a captain, I told Bengal this, so don't worry about getting dropped, because we've all been dropped in our lives some point or the other. We've all lost games before. So if we do lose, it's not going to be the first time. So same with, I'd say with India. I mean, let's say, what's the worst thing that can happen? 4-0, big deal. I mean, India's lost 4-0 before as well. So just not worry about it. Just go out there, play to the best of your potential, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay. Nice. That's an attitude. Uh, let's sort of break some news here. I mean, we know that David Warner's not there for the Boxing Day test. From what I hear, it's not a sprain. I want to leave it at that. From what I gather from Australian journalists, from Australian sources, if David Warner makes a comeback in Sydney, that will be, I mean, he's still got about 10 odd days. That will be a near miracle, because it's David Warner. You can still expect he'll push his body, but it's not an easy injury. I mean, there is a tear, not one, but maybe multiple. So that's what I'm getting. So India has that advantage that Davy Warner will not be around even for Melbourne. Sean Abbott may be making a comeback in Sydney. So Australia clearly handicapped. So let's put it on record. David Warner still not certain, not only for Melbourne, he's out, not certain for Sydney. Anyone comes and tells you anything else, not true. He's not certain for Sydney as well. If he does play, that's because he's an extraordinary athlete. I'll leave it at that. So that's point number one. We'll get reactions from both Deep and Pragyan. Deep, you go first. No David Warner, yet again, red ball. He could have been destructive at the top of the order. You know, his presence out there. From what we saw of Joe Burns and Matthew Wade, yes, Joe Burns got a 50. But without David Warner, that opening combination is also fragile.
Oh yes, it is. Yes, it is. And one of the biggest pillars as far as batting is concerned is Warner, right? Smith, Warner, Labuschagne, they are three main batsmen there. And Warner not being there, and we've mentioned this, not just the quantum of runs that he generally gets. I mean, he averages what 60 plus in Australia in Test match cricket. And also the way he gets those runs, I mean, that's also a very, very crucial aspect of his game. So Warner not being there, I think it's advantage India to a certain extent. And as you mentioned, Matthew Wade, Joe Burns, he got those 50. Without much pressure and everything else. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to read much into that, but big miss for Australia, Warner not being there.
Pragyan, a very senior cricketer, I don't want to name that person here, and we were chatting about batting, and he said, "Yeah, you're talking about India and you're criticizing India. Fair enough, because we we were all out for 36. But talk about Matthew Wade." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Matthew Wade was born in Australia. He's faced fast bowling all his life. He's faced the bouncing ball all his life. Did you see the way he was batting? He was turning like this and giving his body. It was like, body se khelega kya?" These were the words, that will he play with his body, or he was turning like this and getting it here. So he was either getting hit here or he was getting hit here. So he said, where is the bat? I mean, where was the confidence that you've got to go forward or come back, play with your bat? I mean, if that kind of an opening combination is not fragile, then what is fragile? These were the exact words of this man, and he's a legend of Indian cricket. Your thoughts?
Yes, exactly. I tweeted. You can look at my tweet. I said, I think Matthew Wade has come with a new bat, because that's what we do, no tailenders. We try and hide our bat. We don't want our bats to break. That's what he was doing. Even I tweeted the same day. There are cracks in their team, mind you. I'm telling you that one session, had it gone our way, it would have been a different story. And there is every every Indian should, our Indian team, everyone should be proud that they dominated. Only one session they didn't do well. I think people will question my thoughts about the game, but I was very sure we were dominating them. They were not. After one session, everything changed drastically. And chasing those 90 odd runs with that batting lineup, it was no pressure at all. So that's why we saw Joe Burns getting those runs. We saw Matthew Wade trying to play little whatever he did. But I'm telling you, that is a fragile lineup.
Deep, Jasprit Bumrah, in the absence of Mohammad Shami, will have to play an additional sort of leadership role. Your thoughts on Jasprit Bumrah before I come to the BCCI AGM, and I'm going to put you guys on the spot with a couple of questions.
Well, start with Bumrah. I think, listen, Bumrah is already, is a leader. When you look at him, especially in white ball cricket, you see him as a leader. He's there mid-off, mid-on. He's guiding the youngsters. So he's already there. And his importance to the Indian side is maybe as much as Virat's importance to the Indian side. I think what Virat is with the bat, is Bumrah is with the ball for the Indian side, is what I think. And yes, he is already a leader in that back, and I'm sure it'll be a little more. He will have to take a little more responsibility with the third seamer coming in. Chances are, third seamer would be a debutant, either Navdeep Saini or Mohammad Siraj. So yeah, little more responsibility, and that's interesting. But yeah, end of the day, he still is a leader, and was a leader, and will be a leader for me.
Pragyan, the next one, as a bowler, from what you've seen of Mohammad Siraj, Deep has told me maybe on 50 occasions that Mohammad Siraj is a better red ball bowler than a white ball bowler. Why is Deep saying this? I will ask him also, but is your thought the same? And your thoughts on Mohammad Siraj as replacement of Mohammad Shami?
Yes, that's a very good call, I would say, because if you look at his Ranji Trophy games and his games that he's played for India A, he's done brilliantly well. He's picked up those 5 fours, 4 fours. And why? Because his length, the natural bowling is bowling up, inviting the batsman to drive. When bowlers bowl that length, then they become more penetrative. And this is what he does. This is what his strength is. So there are few bowlers, why they are wonder. There are few exceptionals, but I'm talking about bowlers who become more popular in wonders or T20 because their length is different. But in Test cricket, you have to bowl up, you have to bowl that corridor line, fourth, fifth stump. So this is the strength of Mohammad Siraj, and I'm very confident. I've seen him play for Hyderabad and local games. He enjoys the red ball. He has better control of the red ball.
Deep, there are some comments which are saying Siraj did not look too good in the practice matches. I beg to differ. I thought he looked quite good. Your thoughts on that, and your thoughts on why you think he's a better red ball bowler, to add to what Pragyan's saying.
Right. I mean, I think it was Navdeep who bowled a little bit on the shorter side. I thought Siraj was looked better. Again, I mean, both of them are equally good, and both of them, I think, are better red ball bowlers. And when I say better red ball bowlers, the skill set required for white ball and red ball are different. For example, white ball, the natural length is a little back, say 6 meters, 6 to 8 meters from the stumps. You need variations, slow ball, Yorker, and all that in white ball cricket. But in red ball, the skill set is different. All our viewers remember during IPL, every time the pitch match came and there was this place called slot. In T20, what slot is, as in, it's you're not supposed to bowl there, but in test match cricket, in red ball cricket, that is where you're supposed to bowl. So the length has to be a little fuller, as Pragyan mentioned, more towards that 4-meter mark, not 6 and 8. Now, 6 and 8, what happens when the ball pitches at 6 and 8? It bounces, so chances of leg before and bowled is gone. Right, there'll be a lot of balls that you might beat the batsman. Remember Ishant Sharma in the first few years of his career, too short, you will beat the batsman, but you won't get him out. As soon as you start bowling fuller, near that 4-meter mark, is that when you're hitting the stumps, right? So you're getting more leg befores, you're getting more bowls, and also the angle of deviation is less, right? So you're not beating the batsman, you're actually taking the edges. So the difference is in the length, as Pragyan mentioned. So straight from 6 you come to 4. And that length comes more naturally to both Siraj and Navdeep as compared to, say, the white ball length, which is a little further back. Let's more like 6 meter-ish. And also the consistency. They might not have those variations as other white ball bowlers have, the back of the hand slower and all that. But what they really have is that consistency, as Pragyan mentioned. Keep bowling that channel non-stop. And both of them are athletes. They are not just only bowlers. They're proper athletes. People like Umesh Yadav, Ishant Sharma, who can go on and bowl, like give you 7, 8 over spells, give you 20, 25 overs in a day, and be disciplined. And Mohammad Siraj or Navdeep Saini, I'm happy to go with either one of them. Whoever is looking better in the nets is what I'd say.
Okay, so here's what we are getting from Australia so far, including this morning when the team was practicing. So we are, unlike, there's a report about 5 changes and Hanuma Vihari dropped. We're not getting that. I don't think Hanuma Vihari will be dropped. So far, it is Prithvi Shaw will have to sit out Shubman Gill. Rahul comes in for Kohli. Mohammad Siraj comes in for Mohammad Shami. And the one which has caused enormous debate, these two actually have defined agenda. Pragyan Ojha, Deep Das Gupta, MSK Prasad weighed in yesterday. From what we are hearing, it is still Rishabh Pant. And I'm saying it, you can hear to the contrary in multiple places. Your call whether to believe it or not. But on 23rd December, at this point in time, it is still Rishabh Pant ahead of Riddhiman Saha as far as India's think tank is concerned. That's what we are getting from Australia. From today, we are starting a new feature on Sports Today, video comments. Why? Because we thought we keep getting 400, 500 comments in our section. In fact, when these two were speaking, and I'm like, I can't even manage this, man. I mean, and I'm not Riddhima Pathak that I'm used to dealing with this. I mean, each time I'm looking, there are people writing 10 comments there. So, folks, we decided that we'll get some of you on the show. So today, my producer Trisha Ghoshal tells me we've got, and Jitu tell me we've got Akshay, Rohan, and Ornob. So that's what Akshay, Rohan, and Ornob we are getting on our show. So there they are. Beautiful. Akshay, Ramesh, Rohan, Sen, Folks, I didn't even know you all were there today. So welcome. There's Deep Das Gupta. There's Pragyan Ojha. Say anything you want. Don't abuse, because if you abuse, we'll ban you. So everything else is welcome. You want to throw us kisses? Do that. You want to send us prawn pickle? Do that. You want to do anything? You are welcome. Do not abuse. That's all. Everything else, no unparliamentary language. Everything else is welcome. Who are you? Rohan Sen. Beautiful. Akshay, Ramesh, quick comment from you. Question to
Yeah.
any of my two experts.
Good evening, gentlemen. I've been following the show. I just want to ask a question about KL Rahul. Sports Today has broken that he might be playing the Boxing Day test. So if he comes in at number 4 after having not been in the red ball consideration for quite some time, will he see it as a pressure or opportunity? How should he see it? And what are your thoughts on KL Rahul fitting in that middle order in the absence of Kohli?
That's a good question. Deep, why you take that? Then I'll get Rohan to ask Pragya.
According to me, I think I somehow have a feeling KL Rahul is. I would encourage him to bat in the middle order in red ball cricket, and I'll tell you why. Apart from Warner, I don't think there is anyone who opens in all three formats and is successful, right? Because again, in white ball cricket, as an opener, you need a different skill set, which is manageable while you're batting in the middle order in red ball cricket, right? So I just have a feeling if we want KL Rahul to continue with his form with white ball cricket, we better off not pushing him to open in red ball, and if possible create a place, or whenever the place opens up in the middle order, maybe this series, have a look at KL Rahul, because we know that he can open. I mean, he's got hundreds opening in test match cricket, so we know he can open. Why not give him give a go in the middle order with KL Rahul and see how he performs there, so he does not have to change too much moving from one format to the other, or from red ball cricket to white ball, or with the
Pragyan, if I can add to what Akshay is saying and ask you, that isn't it also better, because if Rohit comes back as opener in the third test, where would you fit KL? So you might as well give him a middle order slot, taking from what Akshay said. Your thoughts on KL as opener, and where would you fit him in?
I think for me, experience matters. And if you look at the experience, Shubman Gill is like he's going to make his debut. So I think you should give him that opening position where he's comfortable. He's got those runs in the practice game. But if you look at the middle order, India needs someone who's little experienced and who can handle the pressure well with Ajinkya. Like Pujara is there, Ajinkya is there, but you need somebody else who can do that. And the best bet would be KL Rahul. So KL Rahul in the middle order would do more justice than KL Rahul as an opener, because that is the situation we are in. We don't have a Virat Kohli. So it will be a straight replacement for Virat Kohli. That's what I feel. You should have that experienced man in the middle where he can handle both the things. Like, he can handle the lower order and play with the senior boys to build a partnership. But you should allow Shubman Gill to play his cricket.
Okay, we've got 7 more minutes on the show. We've got 2 people who have already joined us. That's the idea. Sports Today will be interactive, and we will get our viewers and our colleagues. These guys are all Indian cricket fans who are important to us, to join in and ask your questions. Rohan, fire away. Your question to either Deep or Pragyan or me. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys.
Arnab, welcome. Yes,
good afternoon.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, guys. My question to Deep. Sir, is there a way to start looking beyond Ajinkya Rahane, because he has been out of form, and is this going to be a do or die series for Ajinkya Rahane? And if by chance, unfortunately, if he gets dropped, then who captains Team India in the absence of Virat Kohli? Who do you look at as the next captain?
We'll reach there once. We'll talk about it once we reach there in terms of who in place of Virat, who captains. But I think, Rohan, you've got a point there, and I think I've mentioned here in Sports Today before as well. This is a big series for a few players, especially Ajinkya Rahane, Pujara, and especially in these times, in times of crisis. I think it's going to be big. And there are a few comments in the comment section as well, which mentions about Ajinkya not doing anything outstanding. He's had a few good games in the last 2-3 years, not too many hundreds, but yes, I completely agree with you. I think it could be a make or break series for someone like Ajinkya Rahane, and even maybe to a certain extent, Pujara.
Big
Alright.
call. Deep Das Gupta, make or
Thank you.
break for Ajinkya Rahane and Cheteshwar Pujara. Rohan, thank you very much. Arnab, fire away.
Yes, first of all, thank you, Sports Today, for giving me this opportunity. It's a memorable fan moment for me at this moment. So, my question is whether we can see Ravindra Jadeja instead of Hanuma Bihari. To me, it's going to make some additional, it will
With the ball.
develop
With the
our
ball,
side,
you're saying.
in fact, with the
Okay,
ball and with the
Pragyan,
bat as well.
just to add
Yes,
to
yes.
that,
I'll tell you. I'll
BCCI
tell you.
actually
Yes.
tweeted. BCCI tweeted Ravindra Jadeja practicing in the nets today. So Arnab's question makes that much more sense. You take this, Pragyan.
Yes, it does. It does. It's a good thing for us because Jadeja is an integral part. But Hanuma Vihari should play. That's what I believe because we need someone there. And Ashwin is doing a fabulous job. In the first test, he
Yes.
bowled really well, and we have got three fast bowlers. So I think they should stick to that. Someone like Vihari who's got 100 in the practice game. He had a bad game, but he's been doing well overseas. He's done decent for himself. Dropping him
Yes.
wouldn't make any sense. I feel so many changes. I feel it'll be a little harsh, but this man, if you have shown faith on him, just give him one more chance.
And
Okay, so
just
Arnab,
another
I hope
thing,
that
sir.
answers you. You
I
have a
just
second one? Go for it quickly.
Yeah,
Yes,
just
Deep.
a comment.
Ashwin.
I'm just feeling a deja vu. Under Ganguly's captaincy for the second test, we had Irfan Pathan debuting for this match, and in this second match, Siraj is going to debut. So it can bring a good luck for us. That is, I'm hoping. Just crossing my fingers.
It should. It should. It should.
But Pragyan and Boria and also Arnab, you there. If I may add, listen, the idea is not to drop Hanuma. Just a left field thought. Instead of, you have to get a batsman in place of Virat any which way, right? So there is a place open. What if Ajinkya bats at 4, Hanuma at 5, and you have Jadeja at 6, Rishabh 7? I mean, I'm just saying the way has been batting. It's left field. It is left field. I'm not saying it's a very straight idea, but just putting it on the table. The way
So
Jadeja
you're
has
saying
batted.
KL to open.
Yes.
KL
Sorry?
to open.
No.
KL to open.
I'm not saying KL is not.
KL
I'm
to
saying
open.
will not open. Everything remains the same. Instead of we are saying KL to replace Virat in the middle order, I'm saying Jadeja to replace Virat, but not at bat at 4,
Okay.
bat at 6. So just a left field idea.
But in that
Okay.
case, Pujara and Rahane's regular batting position will be altered. So will that be a good decision for the team management?
No, Pujara bats 3, Rahane bats 4. In any case, I think Rahane will bat 4 after Kohli. He has to come up at 4. That's what we are getting. Anyway, so that's another
Thank you.
subject of debate. Last a couple of minutes on the show. Quickly, BCCI AGM tomorrow. The CAC, I am told, doesn't exist anymore. So tomorrow a new CAC will be formed. They will be picking the selection committee. Front runner as of today, I am told, is Ajit Agarkar. Deep, you are on the spot. Is Ajit Agarkar and Chetan Sharma, I am being told, are the two selectors being tipped. Is Ajit Agarkar, 190 ODIs, 26 test matches. Will he be a good chairman? In my book, he will be.
Oh, I mean, with Ajit, definitely no two ways. I mean, I've played a lot of cricket with him, against him. He's a straight shooter. He's his own man. He's extremely strong-headed, if I may say so. He has very strong opinions. Again, someone who doesn't speak a lot, doesn't say a lot, but somebody who has strong opinions and can stand. He's got he will stand by what he thinks. I mean, if he gets through, brilliant. I think he'll be absolutely brilliant and wonderful.
Pragyan, you now, that's what I'm hearing. Chetan Sharma and Ajit Agarkar are tipped, but the CAC will obviously have to take the final call. There are many candidates. I'm also hearing Shiv Sundar Das from East Zone. So this is what I'm hearing. Okay, maybe I am wrong, but I'm hearing that the AGM will put a CAC in place and they will obviously have the final call. But big AGM, 2 teams in the IPL should get clearance tomorrow. 2 teams, not 21, but 22, and the bids will happen. India will be much better off with vaccines and no COVID and all of that. But 22 with 10 teams in the IPL, Pragyan, big AGM, FTP in place. I'm also hearing, as far as women's cricket is concerned, if Mushtaq Ali goes well, Ranji Trophy in January along with women's cricket. That's definitely on the agenda. So, selection committee, women's cricket and domestic cricket, and of course, 2 IPL teams. Your thoughts?
I think first of all, as a cricketer, it was very, very pleasing to hear that we are talking about how we are going to handle this crisis in India, because IPL happened in Dubai, UAE. So now we are thinking about how that cricket is going to come back to India, and the best thing that can happen is we are talking about women's cricket and domestic cricket. So as a cricketer, it's most welcoming news, and it's very pleasing. Saying that, I think the selection committee, as you said, I think if these names are going around, Ajit Bhai is very senior to me. I've never played cricket with him, but what I've heard is he's a very straightforward guy. When you're talking about someone who's going to be a selector and is very straightforward, so it's really good. You get direct answers, you get direct things. So I think that's good. And as Chetan Sharma sir, I think he's very senior to me. I personally don't know him, but if his name is going around and if people think that he's the right man, they should put him there.
Okay, so
And
we will keep
the
making...
best part, 2022, I don't know if it's going to be 2021 or 2022, but if two teams are coming up, it's a big opportunity as far as cricketers get opportunity. And when you add two teams, you have got another 60 players being part of that IPL. So that's brilliant. Anywhere cricketers are being benefited and they're given chances to prove themselves, I'm very happy for them.
Can't hear you, Boria. Right. Okay. So I guess Boria is not there. Boria, we can't hear Boria, but I guess we almost done here. So thanks to everyone who's joined in, and there are a few questions that we will figure out. I'm sorry, questions about how to participate in that video comment thing. I'm not too sure, to be honest, because there's some technical glitch. So Boria is not here.
I think they should contact us in the comment section. I think our people who are managing backstage, they will take your question and they will put you into video. That's what I'm assuming. I think you can just comment on our comment section and they will take you. So
okay, Deep, can you
guys
hear me now?
do, and we've got Boria the back. Yeah.
You can? Okay, so these two gentlemen have clearly told us what they think, but I'm confirming to you 2022 is when you will get 2 IPL teams. Whatever Pragyan Ojha and Deep Das Gupta get in terms of coaching offers, they will remain on Sports Today. That much I can guarantee. Don't worry. So that's something I'm pretty confident of. They're not going to leave Sports Today and go. Every show we will put out the link. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and join us. Subscribe Sports Today. There's the bell icon for notifications. We will keep informing you. And while we were doing this show, these two have achieved a lot. Deep Das Gupta, that South Africa innings, Pragyan Ojha, even Sachin Tendulkar's retirement party, this fellow spoilt it actually by picking those wickets. So, these are criminals at a certain level. So, so there are stories. That's what I'm trying to say. We'll celebrate such people. Let's do something. On 25th December, Christmas Day, let's do a 1-hour special on 25 such innings or comebacks ahead of Boxing Day. That these guys, will pull in 25. Can be an innings, can be a bowling effort, can be a match-saving effort, can be a win by a particular team. Can be Deep Das Gupta 63 in South Africa, can be a 5-wicket haul by Pragyan Ojha. I mean, all of that will come in. Sachin Tendulkar's innings, Virat Kohli's innings, anything. Test match cricket. Test match cricket is what we will talk about. So 25th December, 25 such moments from cricketing history, setting up Boxing Day. Because that's what we will need from India. We will need the fight. We will need the courage. We will need the grit, determination and passion. And trust me, while we are critical of India, or the performance in Adelaide, we will never be abusive. We will back our team. That's what the point is about sport. Be constructively critical, but back your team. Thanks for watching. As I said, links for every show will be put out. So join us and subscribe to Sports Today. Folks, we will talk straight and shoot straight. So join us. Tell us what you think. If we are bad, tell us on our face we are bad. We are happy to take that. Like the Indian team, time to cop criticism. We win together, we lose together, but we battle together. Thank you for watching.